Hey everyone, it's Tracy Martirana here from Holistic Wellness with Tracy, and today I'm going to make my favorite herbal remedy, triple ginger cookies. Ginger is such a wonderful herb to have on hand. Mostly I love it because of its effects on the digestive system. It stimulates digestion. It helps relieve symptoms of like bloating and gas. And if you want to learn more, you can check out my blog post, which I will link down in the description box. One of my favorite ways to use ginger in an herbal remedy is to make these triple ginger cookies. So I am starting by creaming together some butter and brown sugar. Once that's mixed together and it's nice and smooth and creamy, I'm going to add in an egg. And then once that's incorporated, I'm adding in a little bit of molasses. Now, a tip on the molasses, if you make sure to oil your measuring cup, when you go to dump it in, it will pour out nice and easy and it won't be all stuck inside. If you're interested in the specifics of this recipe, I will also link the blog post specific to these cookies down in my description box, and you can go check that out as well. I'm just letting all of these ingredients become well incorporated, and once they are, I'm going to move on to prepping my ginger. Now I'm starting by grating some fresh ginger. So I just have a chunk of ginger that I have peeled, and I'm using my microplaner just to kind of shred it onto a plate. I'm using this, it's room temperature fresh. The best way to do this though is to take that hunk of ginger and throw it in the freezer and microplane it while it's frozen. It works so much better, to the point where I actually always keep a chunk in my freezer so that whenever I want to cook with fresh ginger, I just grab it out, microplane a little bit, and then move on. The other kind of ginger that we're using in this triple ginger cookie is crystallized ginger. Now this I usually get in the candy aisle. You can often buy bags of it in the candy aisle, or sometimes like I have here, you can find it in the bulk candy aisle. Crystallized ginger in this form is soft and sticky. So you have to cut it up into these little itty bitty pieces, and doing so is kind of a pain because it wants to stick to your knife, it wants to stick to your hands, it wants to stick to each other, but just work through. You can also even actually sprinkle the pieces with a little bit of flour if it's really bothering you. That sometimes helps. And then the third type of ginger is this powdered ginger here. So I have my dried powdered ginger from my spice rack, my fresh ginger, and my crystallized ginger. I have flour, I have salt, I have baking soda. So I'm going to add that to my mixture and then gently allow this to all blend together. If you are enjoying this video, please do not forget to click the like button below. Doing so lets YouTube know that people are interested in content like mine. This mason jar, don't let it confuse you, it is baking soda. I buy my baking soda in a big giant container because I use it for a lot of different things, and then I just keep this mason jar of it in my spice rack for when I'm baking. This cookie ends up tasting like a very gingery molasses cookie. If you bake it on the low end of time, you get a nice chewy cookie. If you go to the end and cook it just a few minutes longer, you get a little crispier, more like a ginger snap kind of cookie. Either way, they're delicious. Sometimes when I'm making a batch, I'll do like half of the batch one way and half of the batch the other way, so I have like both. But do what you like. Either way, they'll be delicious. And because of all that ginger really helping your digestive system, these cookies are awesome to have after a heavy meal. It gives you that little sweet bite that makes the meal feel complete, and the ginger helps your body digest. So once the dough is all mixed up, I had put it in my fridge for about 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours, a little bit longer if you want. You just want to make sure it's nice and firm, because before I put it in the fridge, it's actually pretty soft. And make about 1-inch balls and then roll them in sugar and place them on a parchment lined baking sheet. And then I bake these off, like I said, the lower amount of time for chewy, longer amount of time for crispy. They come out delicious. I highly encourage you to add this recipe to your home's herbal remedies. I let them cool for a few moments on the baking sheet and then transfer them to a cooling rack. There they are, yummy and delicious. I hope you'll give them a try. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day.